In the ancient Jewish world, men and women had very different roles. During Passover, women prepared for the seder meal while men typically led their family through it. Though men and women had very different roles, they all had equal roles. And today I will teach everyone how to prepare for a Jewish seder meal for Passover with a consideration to gender roles. First, the woman must buy the materials. 10 pieces of bread must be purchased, and the pieces of bread must all be hidden around the home, and it's the children's task generally to find them. Once all 10 pieces have been found, they will be placed in a bag, and the bag must be burned. Only then can Passover begin. The woman must buy the meals and utensils then. The utensils are sometimes purchased just for Passover to make sure they do not contain any yeast, any leftovers of yeast that people would eat during any other time, or they would be cleaned very, very well. As far as the meal, wine would be purchased. Today we're going to use a type of grape juice. Also, matzah would be purchased. Today it's going to be unleavened crackers. Morar, which is a bitter herb. Usually parsley was used back then, so that's what we're going to use for our meal today. And a horosat, which is a paste made of apple and nuts and wine. It's very similar to applesauce, which can also be purchased at your local grocery store. And karafas, which are any greens, typically kind of a leafy green, so today we're going to use lettuce. And also beitza, which is an egg. And typically the bone of a lamb or some kind of bigger animal is used, just kind of for symbolic meaning. But today we're going to use just a dog bone because it makes it just a little bit easier. And then once this preparation has been completed, we can set the table for Seder. Okay, unlit candles must be on the table. Also a Torah, or today I have a Bible that contains the ancient Jewish text, so that's kind of good enough. And an empty wine glass, and then also a cup of wine. The wine serves as the deliverance out of exile, and the empty wine glass serves as Elijah's cup of wine. The meal is then placed on the platter. The matzah, or unleavened bread, in this case crackers, followed by the bitter herb, or parsley, the bone is placed on the platter, and the beitza, or egg, the horror sauce, which is applesauce basically, and then tradition must be followed. And now that you know how to set, also flowers must be on the table, almost forgot about that. And now that you know how to set a table, you can sit down for dinner. And the family sits down at dinner and they have this religious celebration together. Tradition is followed. Usually they wash their hands before anything. Today we're just going to use antibacterial soap. Although if you have this meal at home, it's probably a good idea to use real water and soap. Then you must drink your wine, in this case grape juice. Then you will break your matzah, have your service, wash your hands yet again. You want to get your hands really, really clean for this because you want to be clean during a religious task. And then you taste your herb and you remember temple. Once this has been said, you say grace with your family. Generally the man leads again. And then you praise God afterwards with your family. It's a huge religious celebration. And the head of the house, the male, tells Exodus in first person. Typically this is remembered. It's something that many Jewish men are taught or just know, but if you do not remember it, there's always the story in the Torah or the Bible that has been placed on the table. The youngest child is encouraged to ask questions once this story has taken place, and that's when all the symbolism of the cedar mill during Passover is explained. In conclusion, Seder is an important celebration to the Jews for Passover, and it focuses on gender equality. The women find the materials, and then they prepare the meal and the table, and then the man leads the family through the meal. Now that you know how to set up an ancient cedar mill, you can explore the significance of gender roles and maybe even have a cedar mill of your own. Thank you.